Hello there, everyone. Ashnflash here, and welcome on into my spoiler review for the 6 episode season 1 of Miss Marvel. And we're gonna go non-spoilers and sort of break down every single episode, talking about all the spoilers and talking about the future for Miss Marvel and Kamal Khan, and then also jumping on into Lego talk and the accuracy of the non-existent sets that we have for Miss Marvel, and where I think we could see and what we could have gotten from this if Lego were to do sets for it. So let's jump into non-spoilers. Non-spoilers. Going into this, I think it is absolutely crazy to me that this actress, Aman Vellani, got the role because she's just such a huge fan. I think that it's just such an awesome story. She's Canadian. I just love it all. I love that what this show represents. I think that the representation here, and it's incredible. I really think that they did such a good job at points. Other times I feel like it's going to lose a lot of people. But in terms of, yeah, it's hard not to talk about things without spoilers, but I guess non-spoilers is her powers. She does not have her regular powers. They are coming from this bracelet, and it is giving her purple lantern powers, for lack of a better word. If she imagines something, she creates it, and it's definitely a very far departure from the comics, but yeah, I think that in general, I enjoyed her performance. It was phenomenal. I think that every single week, regardless of what I thought of the story and what was happening, she always managed to put a smile on my face, at least got at least one good laugh out of me every single episode. And I think that the heart here, the family dynamic in this, is probably the best that we've ever had in the MCU. If I have to like compare to other family dynamics, I really don't think that we have as much as a grounded family, and also because it's a TV show, you have a lot more time to do things like that versus in a 2-hour movie. So yeah, it's the only good part is her, I'd say. The rest of it all, yeah. Let's go episode by episode. Episode 1, it's probably still my favorite episode, if I'm being honest. I love the introduction to her, meeting her family, and just setting up even people who are unfamiliar with this culture. And myself, Canada's very diverse, so I have and grew up with a lot of Indian friends. So I think that it was very uh, familiar in a way to me, like going into this. Whereas, like, some people, I definitely feel like they were bored at points. Like, I'm just going off of what I've seen online, and they didn't necessarily weren't able to connect and things like that. And that's definitely an issue that I think for a TV show. I'm jumping ahead here. We'll touch on that in episode 4. But anyways, with episode 1, again, family dynamic, the driving instructor, the just having someone else besides Spider-Man set in the MCU in a high school, I think was really great. And even just Avengers Con, I love the concept of that. Of course, this episode aired while Obi-Wan was still going on, which also premiered at Star Wars Celebration. So there was just so much surrounding, like, could we potentially see an Avengers Con in real life? And I think that we definitely need to after this. Like, I think that it would be just as big as Star Wars Celebration at this point. Anyways, I thought that that was all great. The graphics of this with the texting and everything, and just the visuals of the show was just so stunning. It was so smart. It was so great until she used her powers, which I just not cheap knockoff of Green Lantern, and I just I don't understand. I think that a lot of the reasoning people have suspected is because they want to introduce Mr. Fantastic and she'd be too similar to him, and then also like they just changed Namor so that he's not similar to Aquaman. So there's just a lot of like confusion here for me of why would you do this. I don't understand. Also in this episode had probably one of the funniest moments in the MCU. I stand by that, when the dad, it was done and dubbed over the Hulk's voice for other countries, came into the room as the Hulk, I will stand by being one of the funniest and then most heartbreaking moments in the MCU. And then episode 2, where she's discovering her powers, and we are also discovering just how bad the CGI is. And again, phenomenal performance, perfectly cast. I cannot fault her. It's just the powers and the CGI of it all, and it's just such a complaint throughout this entire series. It's just, I'm gonna actually make this a chapter and go on a rant here about the CGI right now. Marvel needs to stop. I think I put that in the thumbnail at least before I'm recording it. That's what I'm thinking of. Marvel, put your foot on the brakes. You need to stop. You are putting out too much content. The fact that you have directors and actors making fun of the CGI and the coloring of shots in their movie, and I'm not saying that's a good thing, but the fact that this is happening is embarrassing. You're pumping out too much content. It's way too much. People are already marveled out. And now we have more minutes of screen time in Phase 4, despite it only being a few years old, than any other phase in the MCU because of these TV series that they're just pumping out. And specifically with a character like this whose powers are going to use effects like that. You need to perfect them. This was far from perfect. And I'm not saying necessarily stretching would be better. I'm just saying we're here. She's Purple Lantern. We're dealing with those abilities. But you're so stretched thin here. And the fact that you've got problems being said about this already. You've got problems with just the first trailer of She-Hulk. And that entire character is CGI. That's 9 episodes of a full-bodied CGI character. That's insane to me. And I know supposedly it's changed from the first trailer. I don't see the difference. But it's a big issue. It's a big topic of controversy right now. Even down to like Black Panther. We go back to that in 2018 and it just had this, like the worst fight in the MCU of CGI horribleness. And they were promoting that as well on talk shows. Anyways, my point with that is Black Panther just finished filming a few months ago and it's coming out still in November. They need to stop. They need to stop. I know that a lot of people were longing for content, but it's time to just put your foot on the brake or hire hundreds of people more, thousands of people more to get the job done. And of course, even this ex-CGI artist as well has spoken out about this past week as well. Like, it's such a hot topic right now that they need to reevaluate things. Episode 2, again, more culture stuff. Really enjoyed seeing the mosque and all that. Supposedly stuff being ripped right out of the comics, my friend said. And she caught the kid at the end, and now she's going by a night light, bright light, whatever it was. Doesn't matter, not her name. Moving on now. Episode 3, the wedding episode. I actually really love this episode. I, again, put a great big smile on my face, the whole dance number and everything at the wedding, just seeing a Pakistani wedding as well. It was really awesome, and I enjoyed just a bit of her struggle here in this episode. I thought that was really good. And then she also met Kamran's family and found out she's a Jinn and all that. And yeah, she got betrayed really quickly, which leads here into episode 4. I know she's young and everything like that, but the fact that she went to trusting the Red Daggers so quickly, so soon after she was just betrayed, I really just found it so weird how trusting she was for them. And then even like their whole escape from damage control or whatever that, like, first of all, why are you transporting them all like this if you don't know their abilities? What are you doing? And all, like, just, there's so many things about this episode and the writing and the convenience of somehow they were able to catch up with her traveling that far to Pakistan. Like, there's just so many things with this episode that it's just, why are we here? It was just to set up this next one in episode 5 so that she can be at the end of episode 4 pushed through this portal. Now she's back, and then it opens up with learning about her grandmother, which I just find so uninteresting. Sorry, not even her grandmother, her great grandmother. Like, I don't know. Like, it's like if someone did a whole thing about Tony Stark's great grandfather. You know, it's like Krypton and that show with like Kal-El's like grandfather, great grandfather. Like, no one is asking for this. No one is asking for this backstory. It could have been just a short film. It took up almost the entirety of the episode. And if you're gonna binge this, it's gonna come to a screeching halt of going back in time, and it's so predictable as well that she was the one. Now that she's there, she's gonna be the one to lead the daughter. Nah, nah, nah. Again, this episode, that's the shortest of them all, could have been so much shorter, which is a strange complaint because I don't like the shortness of the episode. But my point with this is it's just so much of why are we seeing this, and it could have been done so much quicker, and it's not at all what I would want to see in a superhero show. And then also with this, when we did come back in time, what is the CGI on these skeletons? Like, I'm speechless. And also, what was I know how to close the rift. I can say Kamran's name. There's so many things about the show's writing that is just so weird and just out of nowhere. Like, the rift opens and then it's going to take over the entire reality, and then she's just like, I know what to do. I'm going to go up and do what that other person just tried to do and got killed by, but I'm going to say my son's name, and then he's going to get powers. What does that have to, like, you know, the Charlie Day thing from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, like trying to put the dots, like, what's going on here? Anyways, episode 6, the convenience store is blown up at the end, and I keep forgetting, like, the endings of all these episodes, but they're on the run, and Kamala is somehow back in time as well. Man, these flights in the MCU are crazy. Anyways, they're back, and her family knows, and I enjoyed all that. I think that was really great. And again, I enjoyed parts of this finale where it was almost sort of Home Alone, and they did the Mark Rober thing with the foam and all that. Like, it was crazy. Also, those guns broke concrete, so weird that those blasts didn't damage any of the humans or mutants and humans. Anyways, so I really enjoyed that part of it. The plan, again, her plans are always fun on the board and all that. And the thing about this, and I know that they were like, hey, girl that I don't remember your name, why didn't you say earlier that you knew it was Kamala, or why didn't you snitch on her? And then she's like, because it's up to Kamala when she wants to tell the world who she is. And I'm like, yeah, cool, like 100% agree with that. Spider-Man didn't have that chance. However, it's so blatantly obvious that it's Kamala. Like, if they just look at her friend group, oh, you're all protecting this one person, where is Kamala, the only friend missing? There's so many moments, and everyone in the mosque must know, everyone in that whole community, there is no doubt in my mind that they don't know, especially when they went around her, and then her mom and dad went up to her. I am also pretty sure at one point they shouted Beta, so it's like, there's so many things about the show. I don't understand. I feel like I'm having a mental breakdown going episode by episode. I should have recorded these earlier. Anyways, the embiggen thing, why did she say it? Again, writing wise, I know it's like, oh my gosh, she said the thing, but it's like, why did she say the thing? She was on the floor and she just thought the word embiggen, and she knew that she grow in size? It certainly looked like that at some points, so she is stretched. I don't know, it's very weird. The graphics again were the crystals and everything when they were in that dome, and there's just, Marvel, stop. Just stop. I enjoyed how the Miss Nightlight or whatever, I liked how the one guard shouted that out, and then I thought that was gonna play into the name, but it didn't. Also, the costume is awesome as well, keeping up the tradition of these Marvel shows in the final episode getting their best outfit. And anyways, I enjoyed the stuff with the family again, and just the moments, especially with the dad on the roof and giving her name, I thought was really sweet. I enjoyed that a lot. And then the final moments with Bruno, and him analyzing her DNA and everything, and I really thought, I was like, oh, cool, like, she's actually an Inhuman, and then he said mutation, and then, and I was like, I these are moments where I wish I had a face cam. But yeah, that was really awesome. I didn't expect that. So she is now our very first mutant in the MCU. No, Charles Xavier does not count. He's not in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He's from a different universe. So yeah, really, really cool that she is the first one. They're going away from the Inhumans, which means no Black Bolt or anything like that, which, yeah. Awesome. The ending, what the heck? Cool new outfit for Carol, and we know that, of course, she's going to be returning in the Marvels. It said that, and I'm excited. I'm excited for that movie. I'm excited for her to meet her hero and everything like that. They've been going around, like, promoting a new Avengers campus or whatever in Paris, so yeah, it's just nice. Again, she's just such a fan of this, and just hearing the stuff with Kevin Feige and everything, I'm just excited about the future of her. Lego talk. We do not have a minifigure of this Miss Marvel. There is one right now on shelves from a 4+ set for the Spidey and His Amazing Friends. However, will we get her soon? Yeah, with sets for the Marvels, because we don't get anything for Disney Plus shows. So I assume that the last Captain Marvel movie only had one set, but we'd get Photon there, we'd get Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel and whoever the bad guy is in that movie. Maybe there'll be multiple sets, I'm not sure, but we're for sure going to get her there. If you want to look up set photos, you could see something that I'm hesitating saying because I don't want to spoil anything for that movie, because we're here to talk about this here. But I do think as well we could potentially see a Disney Plus Marvel Series 2, which I will be doing a video soon talking about that. Because I think that there's a lot pointing towards that happening in 2023. In terms of a set, though, the only other thing that I can vividly picture would be the chase in Pakistan with the actual the truck and then the little buggy that they had. I could see that being a set, and just throwing in Miss Marvel's outfit, the final one. I know it wouldn't make sense for she didn't have it back then, but I just feel like that would work quite well. Get the red dagger in the set, and then I don't know, none of the villains really had interesting looks, so it doesn't really matter. Generic goon, I guess. Anyways, everyone, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I think there's so much of this that I'm like, yes, I love it, and then there's so much of it what is going on? Why are you showing us this? Where did this come from? So much about this. If you want to check out, I just recently did a review of Thor, Love and Thunder from last week, as well as we have a playlist looking at all of the different Marvel things that I've reviewed here on the channel, all the Disney Plus shows, as well as some movies as well from Phase 4. So if you guys did enjoy the video, hope you all have a great day. We'll see you all in the next one.